Hello, everyone. We have already seen the traction and the viewpoints of everyone from this past weekend's Rolling Loud. I think that I was able to experience one of, if not the greatest Rolling Louds ever. Not only am I super happy that it finally made its way to Orlando and will be back next year, but it really showed me that the underground is here to stay. There is no doubt about it. This is the new wave, this is the new era, and we are in for a long ride. But I want to cover some things that I feel these artists should be focusing on as we move forward throughout the years. Appearance matters, okay? And as much as I want to pretend that it doesn't, it is something that has to be noted for these underground artists. And if you are an artist in the underground going forward, okay, I think we have already experienced what it was like in the underground back then, where it was really the face tats and the colorful dreads and stuff like that. And those aspects, I would say those definitely haven't left, okay? But you don't need a face tat now you don't need a face tat or colorful dreads anymore to be pushed, but it definitely is something that helps a lot. One thing I would say one person that comes to mind is definitely Teezus, right? Before I listened to Teezus's music, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make his performance at Rolling Loud, but I did hear a lot about it, and some of my friends were able to go, so I know it was live. But before I ever listened to Teezus's music, I saw his appearance. And it's it's just the way that life is. The first look matters. The way you first show up, the first outfit you wear somewhere or whatever, that is what people are gonna judge you based off of. And with rap, it definitely gets a little bit more technical. A lot of the fans being white, that does also play like a big role in it. But no, for Teezus, it was seeing the face tat, that crazy ass face tat. For the first time, I was just like, dang, this nigga is cool as fuck, because who's sitting through all that pain for all of that? That pulled me to him as an artist before ever really listening to his music. The reason I bring this up first is because Slayer, they were calling him Burger, they were calling him Chud, they were calling him Pool and Shirt music, Corey Kenshin music, Minecraft music, and fucking intro music, everything. They were calling him everything on the book that you could imagine, bro. Like, the niggas were getting so creative with their disses and their insults. And it was hurtful to see, you know what I mean? It really reminded me of when Gunna was popping back then, and they would just be in his comments spamming burger and food emojis all the time. And to keep it real with you, Gunna wasn't even fat during that time period, like, at all. That nigga was never really fat, bro. But when you don't look a certain way, or you don't look like a rapper, I don't know, it affects the way people look. To be honest, the way that he makes music, I would have guessed that's how he looked, and that's not an insult, because Slayer is not ugly by any means. I do think it's weird though how I would see comments and people were like, and you know what type of, you know who they were, but they in the comments talking about oh, but he doesn't have dreads. Oh, he doesn't have any piercings though. You niggas, y'all like cute boys who are tall with dreads, who wear feminine clothing from time to time and piercings. And I get that, because that is me. Although I'm not tall though, I am 5'7", but that's neither here nor there. I get it. Y'all want to do the edges, or y'all want someone to embody what you would want to look like, and you can just say that. And I'm telling you, if anybody else were to make the music that Slayer was making, and they did not look like him, y'all would have been like, y'all would have been writing it, bro. I never really liked the fact that people have to play into these jokes, or they have to, shit on themselves kind of by acknowledging it in order for people to move past it. And I guess it's somewhat of a fair trade-off. You know what I mean? Because it's like, as long as I go along with the joke for a few weeks or a few months or however long, then people will be like, ah, he's chill, like he's cool with the jokes, and like kind of like a litmus test, you know what I mean? Like, let's see how much we can bully this person before they're cool with it, before they let it be a part of their identity, before they let that sink into how they view themselves going forward. And it lets them know, at least this is what I feel like the fans think, it lets them know, yeah, we fuck with you now, and it's cool that you're cool with the jokes, but we can tear you down at any moment. And if you don't agree with how we feel about you, then it's gonna go back to how it was. You know what I mean? I feel like if Gunna went through some depression or anything like that right now, God forbid, and God forbid he went through the depression, not about what I'm about to say, but he gets fat, niggas, I think niggas is still gonna hop in his comments and they gonna be spamming the burger emojis and all that bullshit. I absolutely believe that. And, you know, I don't know. I just really feel for Slayer because I don't think he really deserved any of that. You could see in the ML interview that he was honestly pretty sad, and you know, he was trying to hide through the pain and just trying to choke through it, but that shit really does get to people. And man, the fans are so harsh, bro. I feel like for the underground though, specifically, like we've seen some real harsh shit come from the fans, man. I mean, I was in Blood subreddit the other night. I've been like stalking it here and there, but bro, them niggas are just weird. They're I won't say they're harsh, but they're kind of harsh. They're just so weird, bro. They think everything he has on is reps, and they just think he's faking, and the label gave him all those hundreds so that he can pose for the pictures and look cool and whatever. I could understand them being like, okay, the label gave him the Maybach. I didn't see anyone say that, but I can totally understand that one now. Like, I'm not pocket watching, but for Blood to be in the two-tone Virgil Maybach, I do find that a little crazy now. Where he getting all that bread from? Osama's son. Oh my God. The way that the last few performances, or the last few Rolling Loud performances, you could literally see niggas wearing a shirt with Osama's son's sex tape on it. And I even went to his show for the Psychotic tour this past year, and I was amazed by the fact that there was genuinely fans in the crowd wearing a shirt with another man inside cheeks on it, meat showing, with a caption that says "Open that shit up" on it. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. And that's gay. And I don't mean gay in a negative way by any means. I mess with the LGBTQIA plus people. You know what I mean? I'm severely overly aligned with them. You know what I mean? But the fact that some of the people in the underground be homophobic is what's really frying me, because those were the same dudes who are homophobic. How are you homophobic? You're literally wearing a shirt with another man in cheeks on your body. You decided to not only, like, do you know how much thought has to go? Listen, let me scoot up. Let me scoot up. Do you know how much thought has to go into that decision for you to make? Not only did you wake up and think, I'm gonna watch this man's sex tape, but then after that, you're gonna see people make shirts. You're going to think to yourself, hey, let me buy a shirt. You're gonna buy a shirt of a dude in a leaked sex tape. You're gonna wear it. And you're like, you know what? Let me wear it to a concert. And I know some of the people I know some of y'all was like, oh, Mom, can you send me some money? Dad, can you send me, Mom, can I use your card? Some of y'all are literally children. And your mom had to review this purchase. Your dad had to review this purchase. Something like that. And it's even worse. But it's, first off, if you're a kid doing that, you're already weird and you're far gone. You know what I mean? But I can give you a little bit of slack. Now, if you're an adult and you're wearing one of those shirts, you're a dork, dude. You are a loser. And I don't even have to further elaborate on why. You're weird. 1,000%. But his fans leaked all his sex tapes and stuff and leaked some songs and stuff. Yo, you niggas are weird, bro. And that's it was just so harsh to me how he has to perform and look at all of this stuff, like him and Slayer, the way that they have to perform and look at all of the backlash that they're facing. But more so on this, I mean, obviously both of them, they have their faults. The situations have their faults, but really more Osama-san, because, bro, you're having literal sex tapes leaked. Like, this is showing all of your body, and that is very embarrassing, you know? That can feel very embarrassing to see something that's supposed to be private or personal shared with thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and it kind of becomes part of your lore as an artist. You know, like it's very disheartening, and it shows how fans sometimes will literally minimize you down. How can I say this? It shows how fans will sometimes not even view you as a person, and I hate that. I really do. I really do hate that, because at the end of the day, you know, these are still people, even though we view them as artists and something bigger than life and untouchable. These are still human beings, and that's just genuinely just not the right thing to do. My next point was I want these artists to stick with the producers that they have. And I know that that can be a little bit limiting, but I feel like the producers in the underground recently are really what paved the way for the sound and just the overall future for each and every artist that they work with. It's 100% 50-50 producer and artist. Without one, who is the other? For example, Blood and Yursi, even, wasn't Yursi just exposed for saying the N-word? Blood and Yursi, Nine Vicious with Bella, Jay Wade, Patrick, Ahmed, Osama-san and Che working with, oh, and Netspin as well, working with Draco, FM, and Legion, like all of those members. They should continue to work with them, as it's been doing amazing for it. Just building the overall branding for them as an artist. For me especially, the one that stands out the most is Nine Vicious. As soon as I already know the song is gonna be tough. As soon as I hear Draco, hardest out, no doubt, I know it's gonna be tough. As soon as I hear, oh, okay. Come on, man. I already know it's gonna be tough. You know, it'll do better work for the producers as well, and potentially, you know, possible collabs between everybody. That would be really nice. I don't think these artists should ever stop with the Satanic Panic or those types of gimmicks. Now, the reason I say that is because every time they do it, it catapults them in to a higher caliber of fame and success every single time. For example, we already know Nine Vicious had a great set, a great performance at Rolling Loud this past weekend, but guess what? With him putting all of that Freemasonry imagery and him throwing up the Illuminati and him wearing the Israel chain, now the Freemason and the Illuminati, I feel like those are a whole different caliber compared to the Israel chain. The Israel chain is absolutely wild to me. Like, that's absolutely wild. I personally wouldn't drop bread on an Israel chain, but maybe he's just pushing the gimmick a little further. You know what I mean? We gotta have a little bit of nuance. We gotta have a little bit of nuance. But the same way, everyone took a page out of Cardi's book, but to be fair, people have been doing Satanic Panic way since then. Satanic Panic goes all the way back towards the rock days, and it's had its roots in rock and that type of music ever since then. Talking about Cardi, like, when he started wearing the upside down cross and everybody started wearing the upside down cross, guess what though? Everybody was like, nah, y'all gotta stop. This is devil worshiping. This is evil music. This is not right. Is this what the new generation is in about? Like, what is really going on with y'all? And guess what? He dropped Whole Lotta Red, and Cardi is now one of the most renowned pioneers for music going forward since 2020. I want to assist a lot of, like I said earlier in the video, appearance, because that ties into it. But this symbolism in this Satanic Panic gimmick, you know what I mean? I think one person who gave a really good explanation on why they had the upside down cross chain was Saw Baby. I'm gonna find it and see if I can put it somewhere in here, just a clip of the video or wherever it came from. But other than that, I mean, everybody else was kind of just saying it's St. Peter's cross, and niggas been going, yeah, it's St. Peter's homage, bro. And I think that is pretty hilarious. I mean, they did say that, okay, yes, he wanted to be hung upside down because he felt like he wasn't as powerful as God, or shouldn't have been in the same boat as God in terms of, the way he was hung. So he asked to be hung upside down. And maybe that is what it could mean to them. Maybe it could be two things at once. Maybe it's that, and they know it's a gimmick and it's gonna work and it's gonna bring shock value and it's forever gonna work on y'all. Or maybe they're just doing it for the shits and giggles. But who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? Another example of this was Che when he had did his Rest in Base cover that he had to scrap because people did not like the way that it disrespected the cross. And when he posted that picture of the panties on the cross, people in the comments are just like, why is it always this religion? Why is it always this religion? And I do want to let y'all know, to my Christians in here, or to my people who are, Jesus believers, it is always the cross because it is always easy to get away with. It is always easy. People either A, forget, or people don't care. I want to say, I don't think because you do not support a religion that you should, disrespect it unless it is warranted, I feel. But my personal beliefs on Christianity and Jesus and stuff like that is, I don't think it's real. How were slaves not allowed to read, but the only thing you hand them is a Bible? Really? Christianity has done far worse for the black community than crack. I think the Bible has done way worse damage for the black community than crack. But there's way too many caveats and holes in the plots. You're gonna tell me God, who sees all and everything, let slavery happen for 400 years. Okay, dude. Okay, I'm not believing that. Anyways, to wrap up this segment, the gimmicks will forever work. Satanic Panic will forever work because it always gets y'all. It always gets y'all. I definitely am not fucking with the Israel chain. I think that's a little too far, but I guess when you have money, you can push the needle a little bit more. We already know marketing teeters the line with morals. So what's so bad for them to also teeter the line with their morals, their personal morals? And maybe to them it's not that big of a deal because they never upheld religion as highly, or they did and then they develop a different viewpoint on it after some time. Because you know what the first thing is that people jump to when they see rap beef? They don't care if you guys are making genuine points. They don't care if there's genuine evidence against you for doing something that is not good. The first point they're jumping to is who makes better music. And that's always going to be what the first point is. That's always what it is. Oh, I don't care. He makes better music than him anyway, so I don't even know why he's talking. And you know what that does? That gets more people to tune into the other person. Oh, let me go ahead and listen to this shit. Let me see what this hitting for. Come on, man. It works every time. I think they need to space out these rap beefs, these fake rap beefs and stuff like that. But we've seen how it worked for Teezus and Diamond beefing with Nine Vicious. We've seen how it worked for Nine Vicious beefing with Lil Uzi. We've seen how it's worked for Skywater and Jane Remover and Dabo and all of these niggas beefing, which this new generation of underground artists has shown that we do not have time to wait years and years for niggas to drop a good project anymore, okay? And I do want to say that art does take time and good art takes time, and I understand, but there has to be a limit to that, you know what I mean? You have to give yourself at least, I would honestly say a 2 to 3 year limit, and even then that sounds really tough as an artist. But I can only imagine to keep up with performances and making new music and just continuing to build yourself as an artist and also dealing with your personal life and possibly personal struggles. 2 to 3 years isn't that long, to be honest. The way that Che has been able to move from his sound on Say So Says to Rest in Bass, CC, and Rest in Bass Encore, going deeper into the Rage sound, it does show that there are people who can and will change how they sound and produce projects at a high intensity efficiently. We don't got time to wait 5-6 years, the same way we was waiting for a whole lot of Red to come out, or same way we was waiting for Iron Music to come out. We don't gotta wait that long anymore, bro. And we also have, in the digital age and space now, in the mainframe, I'm throwing in some keywords for the SEO, don't mind me. There is a plethora of clones that are induced in the underground now. If Che decided today that he's not going to drop music for 3 years, Raining LOL will be listened to a lot more. I'm telling you. And no disrespect to Raining LOL, but yeah, if Che literally left, niggas would be streaming that Raining LOL. You see how fast he be finding those presets? The exact same presets as Che. Trust, bro. Continue to build the stage around yourself as an artist. I think things like symbolism and some of these sayings, it really gives more of a feel to the artist. It gives people more of a connection, you know what I mean? Like YBL, YSL, Oway, the way Teezus and Diamond is always yelling and screaming at Oway, and the way that they type with the O slash through with the line and shit like that. Like, that stuff really does build more of a community, and it makes people feel a part of something. And that's just branding, like, as a whole. I mean, the same way that Drake has this whole OVO thing, same way Young Thug has his slat. Like, you know what I mean? That sounded very Caucasian. The same way Young Thug has his slat. People, something to remember you by, other than your music. You know what I mean? Because you see this, you already know what this is partnered with. I don't even gotta say the word. I don't even gotta say who I'm talking about or who I'm thinking about. You already know what it is. On the subject matter of their music, specifically Nine Vicious. I have heard Nine Vicious reuse at least maybe 5 bars, and I need him to stop doing that. We gotta get back to the drawing board and at least come up with some new shit that we can recycle every now and then. The way that Osama-san was doing those music videos where he would have like the wording, the lettering, and I wanna see more of that. I wanna see more working tight-knit with these groups, whether it be creative directors, producers, stylists, I don't even care. These archive people who, you know, lend pieces for shows and performances, stuff like that. Keep working with these tight-knit groups, because it is really gonna get everybody far. It's gonna get everybody far. A great example of a tight-knit group is OVO. That nigga Drake has been with 40 and Chubbs and Boy 1DA. Like, he's been with Boy Wonder. He's been with all those niggas for decades, bro. And they all came up together, and everything they do benefits the other. And that means more than anything. Working with a stable, trustworthy group of people who are around you at all times, and y'all all have the same vision, that means a lot more than anything else that I think you could ever really ask for when it comes to making art. The last thing I had to say is, like, I really love this rap shit, bro. But I'm tired of being the nigga who be in the comments talking about, I knew they was gonna come up, I knew they was gonna come up, or just having that in the back of my head. No, I want to be there. I want to be a part of it. I want to be in it. I want to be in it. I'm talking backstage press pass for Rolling Loud next year, bro. Like, I really fuck with all of this shit. And I wish nothing but success on everybody in the underground, and, you know, the way that the art is moving and stuff like that, bro. It really, you know, it means a lot to me. I'm here to stay. I'm gonna forever be making videos about this shit till I'm like 60, nigga.